In this video, I'll share very powerful quotes with deep meaning, and once you understand these, it can change your life and make you free of all emotional suffering, fear, and pain. These quotes are inspired by my work on mindfulness and similar insights. However, I've taken help from ChatGPT to mold them in ways that make them effective and punchy. So listen carefully. If you truly understand these things, great results are inevitable and you will feel truly happy and free. So the first quote is, thoughts pretend to be guides, yet they know no path. Watch them pass and their authority dissolves. So understand this. You have only one problem, and that is unobserved thoughts. Just because they keep coming continuously, they are on and on all the time, doesn't mean you create them. You cannot predict your next thought, can you? Just try this experiment. See for yourself, do you know what your next thought is going to be honest and just look. If you're honest, you'll come to the conclusion that you do not create your own thoughts. You are not the thinker. Thoughts are simply the result of the information we have gathered, all the things we have learned unconsciously or consciously. So, when you truly understand this, that you don't create your thoughts, you watch them as a witness from a distance. Just be honest and be still and see you are here and now, and the thoughts are continually coming and going, right? You are not really being carried away with the thoughts. You watch them. Yes, they are powerful, and you find yourself really engrossed in them, but you're not really being carried away with the thoughts because you are not a thought. Do you see? You watch a thought that says, oh, I get it, and you watch a thought that says, I think this is not for me. So both of these statements are thoughts. So any word that arises in your awareness is a thought. This is a simple definition, and you can see that any thought that comes is not really created by you. It's not your own creation. This just see this clearly, and half of the work is over, because as soon as you realize that you are not creating these thoughts that is coming and going in your awareness, you disidentify from them, and that's the work. That's all the work that needs to be done. You'll understand this deeply with time. Just stay with me. So the next quote is, ignore a thought not with resistance but with presence. It returns to nothingness from which it came. Your attention is needed. That is mindfulness, or what we call presence. Presence or mindfulness is needed in order to watch the thoughts. You need to be really still within yourself. You need to be rooted within your body or yourself, or what you call yourself, and just watch those thoughts coming and going. And as soon as you see that there is a distance between you and the thoughts that come and go in your awareness, there is immense freedom in this. Yes, it takes practice to be mindful. Yes, it takes effort in the beginning. Yes, it takes a lot of effort in just not being carried away with every thought. I know this, I've done this, but you can also do it. If you are willing, you can do it. This is very much possible for anyone who is willing. So, to know that you're not the thinker, you're not the one who thinks. It happens, thoughts happen on their own, on its own. You are not the creator of thoughts. So, when you see this in your own experience, that freedom, you watch the thoughts pass, you watch the thoughts come and go. As you see this, there is freedom. It's as simple as this. Just see this, that you are not creating your own thoughts. How can you? You cannot even predict the next thought. So how can you say that I am creating my thoughts? So the third quote is, freedom is not something you achieve. It is what remains when the mind stops insisting on problems. Problems are creation of the mind. The mind says, and it says constantly, how will you survive if you don't think about yourself? This is the general underlying problem of the mind. And that's the game of the mind. It's greedy to survive. It wants to keep playing with you. And that's why it comes up with all kinds of imaginary problems. And why I call them imaginary problems? Because they're not right now. They're not happening right now. You are just thinking about them in your mind. Do you see? So it's not really happening right now, is it? And the fun fact is, you can think about anything in life and believe it to be true. You can think anything and the mind believes it. Right now, I'll think that I'll die the next moment and keep fearing that thought. And this can go on repeat mode. And in this way, I can think anything that will cause me fear. But that's just a thought. You see, that's just a thought. It's not the reality. This statement that I can die the next moment is just a thought. It's just a viewpoint. It's just a perspective, and which is not even true in this moment. How can I say that I will die the next moment? I don't know. And in this way, you don't know anything about the future, but the mind creates and projects every story that it can to survive itself and to make you fearful. So this thought that I can die the next moment is just a thought that has appeared in my awareness. It's not really true. And you'll see most of the thoughts are not really true. They are imaginary fears. So there's a famous quote that goes like this: we suffer more in our imagination than in reality. So you see how this relates and connects with in all these insights. So the mind loves to be fearful for no reason. You need to be aware of how the mind tricks you in believing that how your problems are so significant. They are not. You make them by giving undue importance to compulsive thinking. And every thought is compulsive. You are not creating anything, right? So how can you say that any thought is not compulsive? So just realize that no thought is actually true or helpful for you. The fourth quote is, nothing can truly be owned in a world that is always moving. Try to grasp it and you grasp only air. So the explanation is, nothing is graspable. You call your children or your property yours. Till how much time it's going to be yours? 10 years, 20 years, 30 years? This is the reality check we all need when it comes to possessions. We hold things so tight that we ourselves can't enjoy them. So instead of suffering, you can see this that nothing is truly yours. How can it be? You came here with nothing and you'll go with nothing. Isn't this the reality? And when you see this reality, you can now play with them as toys without attaching yourself to them so blindly. So the fifth quote is, when you stop calling things yours, the world stops threatening you. What can be taken from the one who claims nothing? So when you truly realize and see you own nothing in this world, what can life take from you? This is an inner realization. When that happens, it liberates. Now everything becomes your own because you don't identify with any particular idea or a thing. That's when you can truly love and see things as they are. Without that, there's only fear. Without that, there's only suffering. Because you are trying to grasp something that can never be yours. Nothing can be yours in this world. If you have courage, see this and be free. This is true detachment and this is true freedom. This is how truth sets you free. The final quote is, wakefulness begins the moment you notice the absurdity of clinging to what never stays. So if you are able to see the truth of this, you are lucky and you're truly blessed. And next time any attachment surfaces, remind yourself that this shall too pass. Nothing stays the same in this world and nothing can stay the same. And this is your freedom. So understand the depth and how much liberating these truths can be for you. And I'll see you in the next video.